That's probably the most cooked I've been ever. The Munda Biddi is a 1,070 kilometre trail that connects Perth to Albany, and it's actually the longest continuous bike trail in the world. So you go through various different landscape regions, various different weather systems, different towns, communities, people, there's animals, it's wild.
It's up on the hills that we call the Munda in the Whadjuk language here. On the Munda is a big trail, a Biddi. Biddi is what we know as the name of your vein that carries your life source, your blood. Zigzagging through the country because nothing was ever straight. When you travel on this, the Munda Biddi in its traditional entirety was always about taking the safest path.
The Munda Biddi has always been this trail that existed in my backyard that I've never gone and done before. WA gravel is unique in that it's pea gravel and it is really slippery stuff. It's red dirt, iconic for WA, and I'm going to be basically travelling from Perth, which is the capital city of WA, all the way down to Albany, which is in the far southwest. It's been a dream to come back and do it. I've been out of Perth now for about 4 years, and I've always had this niggling thought, like I want to go back to Perth and I want to do the Munda Biddi and I want to do something cool with the Munda Biddi, and it's finally happening. I'm going to go and do the Munda Biddi, I'm going to try and break the record, and then we're going to visit a whole series of kids and communities along the way and try and connect them through this notion of dreaming. My dream was to come do the Munda Biddi. What is their dream? I don't know, but I'm going to try and help inspire them to have a dream and try and give them a toolbox to essentially achieve it.
You at Chalets on Stoneville for your epic journey tomorrow morning, which I think you're all mad, but on a normal spring, this is probably a good time to actually do it. But we're not in the normal spring. It's 40-degree day today. It's going to be damn hot. Don't like his chances in actual fact. I think he's going to get heat stroke.
Hey Jackie, check the weather for me, mate.
She's looking a little bit warm. She's looking warm. So this is like record temperatures that we're experiencing here in November. I think it's the hottest week in November history. I had people messaging me saying, yeah, I don't think you should do this. Maybe you should change it to supported. Maybe you should do... No, the goal is to do it as I'd set out to do, and that's what I'm going to do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Cheers.
My grandmothers and grandfathers come here to us here. And may the energy that is in the land rise up and hold us or make us safe. And so, and happy to see that we're all standing as one. And so, in other words, welcome here to the Whadjuk lands, because later on you will be in the Minang lands.
At the start I was nervous, but I don't think it really sunk in how difficult the next few days were going to be at the time. And there's people there like, oh, well done, we'll see you in Albany. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll see you in a few days' time, and no worries. I sort of set off and I'm just alone.
So with the heat wave conditions, it's pretty scary because there's bushfires all over the place. I know there's fires north, there's fires south. There's 65 fires burning at the moment throughout the state, so we just have our fingers crossed that there'll be no bushfires along the Munda Biddi route.
First little encounter of the day, 2 dogs came racing down the trail towards me, scared the absolute out of me. They're barking, one of them's just grabbed onto my foot. As you can see, there's a bit of bark and slobber on there. That's courtesy of him. His owner raced up and said, "Oh, don't worry, they're not vicious." I was like, "Mate, your dog just bit me on the foot." Anyway, it's woken me up. On we go. Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. It's starting to warm up a bit, so it's good, huh? A few people out in the bush. Super nice. The community's gotten behind this, which is great. It's really fun to just suddenly see people. So yeah, good vibes out here.
Listened to one of the podcasts with Scully the other day, and they had the interview with Jack, and yeah, found it inspiring really, some of the stuff he's been up to, and obviously his battle with mental health. So I thought it'd be worth coming out and giving him a bit of support.
What he's overcome, things he's overcome in life, like going through the drugs and alcohol, and to get where he is today, getting his life back together. Super inspiring.
It's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. These first probably 300 Ks will be super challenging with the pea gravel on a gravel bike. There's some decent climbs on fire trails which are super soft, so good luck to him.
And then I started climbing, and I was like, wow, it's getting warm up here. And I'd made this little makeshift Legionnaires style cap that I just velcroed to the back of my helmet because I was conscious about just getting burnt to death. And I sort of fitted that, and I was like, all right, I'm in for a long slog here. And it just got hotter and hotter and hotter throughout the day. So there was one point, it would have been on day one, where I kind of realised like I'm running real low on water here. My camelback's empty. I've got one bidon on the bike that's empty. I've got one bottle with a bit of, a few dregs in the bottom of it. And I thought, unless I come across something soon, like I'm going to really have to slow down because I can't keep this pace up. I had a life straw, and I was lucky that I came across a little pool of water on the side of the road, and I was able to just scoop it up in the bottle and squeeze it into my bidon. But there were these sections like this, because it's a really remote stretch of trail in sections. You got 150, 170 kilometres without resupply. And then combine the fact that it's 38 degrees, it's like you're up against the elements, and it's brutal out there. It's amazing what a glimpse of water will do for the spirits. I would love to go for a swim in there, but it's not going to happen. To begin with, riding at night was a bit of a buzz, You don't have a lot to keep you occupied at night. You can't look out and see the views. People aren't out there cheering you, like you're pretty alone. It was kind of magical. I was literally in the middle of nowhere by myself, on a bike, on single trail, rocking around. It was like I was almost surfing the dirt. It's just sick. That's when the wildlife started to come out.
I've literally just stopped for some water, filling up, and there's a f***ing snake literally right in front of me crossing the path. F***ing hell, that is hectic.
Like I saw wild pigs, I saw emus, I saw obviously hundreds of kangaroos, I saw a snake, and I saw, I kid you not, thousands of spiders, generally as they were hitting me in the face. So my light was basically shining down the trail, and you'd catch a glimpse of the spider web just as you rode into it. And I soon worked out that, well, these things aren't biting me, they're not killing me, so long as I can get the webs off and they're not itchy, I'm just gonna have to deal with this for the next couple of days.
Leaving Nannup now, and finally into this amazing forest. You can see it above me. These trees must be hundreds of years old.
I was lucky because I visited some towns, like there was Donnelly River in there. These little towns I didn't know existed, but had amazing trails. And again, like there was communities out there shouting on the side of the road, and the vibes were just so good. Things weren't hard then, but the fatigue as a result of the sun was starting to kick in. I'm wearing sun cream, I've got the neck protector on, I'm under the trees, but there's no way of hiding from that heat, even the heat off the ground. It's just warm.
Bushfire season here, and there's still a few fires burning. It's pretty sketchy. Don't know if they've been lit on purpose or if it's because of the heat. Would not want to be on the bike in here if it was raging.
I guess it's the story of inspiration, determination, hope, having a goal. It's just all those things that we, I guess as humans, we all want to do and all want to achieve. So it's just pushing that barrier. Oh, look, absolutely inspirational. Of course, I'd never get to the level that Jack is. I'm just a weekend warrior. But at the end of the day, it's great to see and just really inspirational to see.
One of the highlights for me day two was the Gloucester tree in Pemberton. I'd actually been to Pemberton before. How I hadn't ridden this section of trail is beyond me because it is literally world class. You've got this massive big tree canopy, I don't know, 100 metres high, like these are big trees. And then there's just this switchback section that just goes all the way down. You're getting lower and the trees are just getting higher as you get lower. And it's like you're surrounded by these giants.
It's about 5:30 on the final night. He's in good spirits, he's still happy whenever we've seen him, whenever we've shot him. He's always sort of happy to share a laugh and crack a smile, but you can tell he's really starting to hurt now. And coming into this final night, he's heading towards Wormall, which is one of the most challenging parts of the whole Munda Biddi. So there's a lot of climbing down there. It's quite open and exposed, so if there's any wind, it's really going to test him. And that on top of sort of the state he's in now, going on 40 hours without sleep. Tonight really is going to make or break this world record attempt.
We used to do triathlon together.
Jack beat me when I was 17.
School sport.
Yeah, school sport. He's a legend.
Good times, eh?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna crack on, but let's stay in touch, yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's ride out.
I'll ride you through.
Like, I'm pretty conditioned to this sort of stuff. Like a 24-hour ride, albeit a long ride, is not uncommon. But where things start to get difficult is when you reach that 36-hour, 48-hour point and you're not sleeping. And before I came, I was chatting to my doctor about this, and he said, how long is it going to take you? And I said, around 50 hours. And he said, you know your body's going to start shutting down at around the 48-hour mark. I sort of just took that in my stride and didn't mention to him that it was probably going to be on the north side of 50 hours as opposed to the lower side. And yeah, it was always in the back of my mind, like once you get to that 48-hour mark, stuff's just going to go like this, and it did. I wasn't hallucinating, but I was seeing shadows that were tripping me out, that I couldn't work out if they were kangaroos or if they were people in the bush. I became like really paranoid of everything that was moving. It just culminated in this really difficult, probably 6-8 hours where I was just battling.
Oh, last night was a hard night, I was all over the place. I couldn't get any food, so everything was closed. Went through Witchcliff, closed. Wormall, closed. And now I'm cracking on to Denmark. Listen to James Blunt and I'm crying, eh? Super emotional. Far out. It's been 50 hours no sleep, that's probably why. I was like riding and I just had no idea what I was doing. I was literally like forgetting where I'd been. I was like, f***, I need to sleep. So I literally like found a gate, put my bike against it and just fell asleep on the ground. But I set 2 alarms for 10 minutes. And I woke up with 1 minute before the alarm. And I had a little bit of Coke left over. So like I sculled that and just kept going. I was so tired.
I could see in my map that the ocean was not far away. And growing up on the coast, I loved being by the coast, so I was looking forward to getting down to the coast because that always regenerates some energy anyway. But this time was different. The wind was forecast to be 60 kilometres an hour, blockhead wind all day. And I still had 200-300 kilometres left to ride. You know, I'm slowly slipping further and further behind. The record's feeling like it's further and further away. And I've got the pressure and the fatigue of actually, like I haven't slept for 2 and a bit days now. Like I'm not in a good place mentally anyway, and I've got all of this stuff going on. Like survival mode. And I realised that I'd actually forgotten the last 30 minutes. I couldn't remember like what had happened, where I'd ridden, and I thought, no, I need to stop. That's probably the most cooked I've been ever. Oh, I woke up and I tell you what, I didn't feel like getting back on a bike and riding for 200 kilometres into a headwind, but I had an end goal, you know, and the end point was there and I just had to keep cracking on. And so that I did. I had this amazing coastal vistas out to my right and I was like, wow, this is giving me a bit of energy here. Like, at this point, like I know the end's not far away, but it's almost like the closer you get to the end, the further it seems. Like it's like the yard post just keeps getting that little bit further away. And it's like one of those dreams where there's somebody chasing you, but like, your leg's not working, you're like, oh, I can't quite get there. It's like this horrible sensation. Oh, the feeling of finishing was so good. Like I knew that I had family there, I had friends there, I had like the team there. I knew that I'd be able to get proper food, I knew that I'd be able to have a shower because like, I was filthy. Like I looked like I dipped my legs in Vegemite or something. There was so much black dust on them. Well, I thought it was going to be hard, but I probably underestimated the fact that not having sleep for 2 days, battling through an historic heat wave, and then copping headwinds from hell, I didn't take any of that into account. And it was seriously hard. The feeling when you finish these things, especially when you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, like we took 4 and a bit hours off the existing record, despite the conditions. You know, like we've connected the community through doing what we're doing. People have come out, like, and just like that, 1,070 kilometres comes to a close, and you know, I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I think this project is about having a dream and actually chasing that dream. So what we wanted to do is basically jump in a car from Albany, because there's no way in hell I'm riding back to Perth, and then visit the schools through the towns that we actually rode through and talk to the kids about the power of exercise on their mental health and try and inspire them to break the next record, you know? I really like the aspect of setting a goal and then going about achieving it. And yeah, like my season's now finished. Yeah, 2024's been a different year for me, but it's been a good year. And
it's 2023, by the way.
I think we'll call it that. The end.